viewers, here once again on a very cold Monday morning with Barry.
On the afternoon, Tom.
In the afternoon? Sorry, it is afternoon already. I must have slept in too much.
Yeah, it's a very cold day, and it's last night was one of the coldest nights for a while, but you've got to get on with it. Move on.
Greetings to you. Good afternoon to you,
Good
Barry.
afternoon, viewers, and you'll get a nice coverage of the game today because we had a good win.
Very good. So what's this about? Firstly,
well, that was when I went up to Horsham in 1991 and went to the races, and I actually was going past Women Mail Times, and a fellow called out. He said, "Barry, come in." So he done the interview, and I was after a coaching job at the time. And he done a story, so very good story, that.
Okay, when was this?
1991.
Okay.
At Page.
And did you take the coaching job?
No, I got a couple, one from Minyip and one I knocked him back, but I was only up there mainly to go to the races, and he done an interview, and quite good.
Very good. So what's this other one here? The longest
back
and the shortest?
1966 with Panya. That's big John McGill. He was 6'5". He said before, it doesn't look 6'5", but he was.
Makes you about 6'1" there, I reckon.
I'm a very tall 5'8" there. It looks like about 6'1". But that was taken before one of the games, and put that in the paper. And
he was one of your teammates, obviously.
He was my ruckman. He used to rope him. Hard man too. Not a bad fad, but from many years ago.
Very good. All right. Well, let's get straight into the game.
Okay.
So, tell us about the weather and the conditions, Barry.
The weather was perfect. A little bit of a breeze to favour the breeze sort of turned around during the game. It was only about 2 or 3 goals against, but it was a perfect day for football.
Yeah, it did spring up late in the third quarter,
well,
didn't it?
I think it might have sprung up the last one when Chelsea had to win again, but no, it was a perfect day for football.
Any changes?
About 7.
Now, this was interesting because this time last week, after last week's game, you were calling for changes.
I had to be changed at least 4 or 5, I thought, but it was 7, and very, very good changes too, including young Bradley Clark, who made a very. I'll give the outs first. Out was Biaggi, Lancaster, Kelly, Jason Clark was a bit unlucky to be dropped to. Hodgie, Nana, we just call him Nana, and DeLuca, who sprained his ankle.
Okay, so only one really forced? One
injury?
DeLuca.
Yeah. DeLuca was the only one injured. But in was Jesse O'Donnell, who played a fair game too, Jesse. I told him about him about 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
He come in, Bradley Clark, 17-year-old, Joel Connolly, could be the X factor from now on, if he stays fit. Danny Moore, good to see him back, should never been dropped. Finney Moore, a big add to the side, this fella, he's got a bit of mongrel and he can play. Nightingale, number 48, played a fair game for his first game for the seniors, and Ando was back, or he should have been.
That Bradley Clark was good.
He's only 17, he just, first probably 5 minutes, he had 3 or 4 possessions, he kicked a beautiful goal in the last quarter. I'll say something about that later, but he just fitted in there as though he'd been there for about 10 years.
Very good. So the first half, the end of the first quarter for Chelsea, 4 goals to 26, SEAFORD 4-4, 28.
Well, it was a pretty even first quarter, as a matter of fact. As I say, I think level. Scores are level a quarter time, aren't they? 4-2 each.
There's 2 points the difference on here.
Well, according to my score was 4. Anyway, it was pretty even first quarter, and Louis and Salem done about probably half a dozen possessions the first quarter again. He's a bit of a starter, Salem. Carmody was in the game this week. It was pretty even. In the second quarter,
I'll give you the scores: 7-5, 47 to Chelsea, and 8 goals, 10-58 SEAFORD.
Well, they just started to get on top of us. SEAFORD. If they would have kicked straight, we could have been 6 or 7 goals behind in that second quarter at half time, but they kicked bad, and that was a pretty. Well, I've just started to take. I thought they were just going to take over the game, but at that stage of the game,
Touch and go.
But we only, 10 points behind or something, weren't we?
Yes.
11 points behind. But they just looked as though they were starting to get on top, and I thought, look out, another wipeout.
But all right, so I got the 3/4 time scores. 10.
At half time, Chappell's given a bit of a stir up, and he got them fired up again, and they come out. And the second half.
Third quarter scores 10-7, 67 to Chelsea, 11-14, 80 SEAFORD.
Well, they started to take over in the third quarter. I thought, here we go again. They're going to be another sort of pull out, but in the last 10 minutes of the third quarter, probably like the last 7 minutes of the third quarter, I thought myself, Chelsea's starting to get back in the game. They got within 2 or 3 goals at three-quarter time. And I just looked as though they were starting to get the momentum, Colin.
Had a little run on, didn't they?
Well, they were. They were just starting to get their act together, and all the players are starting to fire up, including Louis, because he played a good game all day. But they, and then the last quarter...
Final scores, 15 goals 15, 105 to Chelsea, to 11 goals 15, 81.
Well, I just started to get the momentum, and probably the first 5 minutes was pretty even in the last quarter. But then the last 20 minutes, we took over. All the players stood up, and of course, including Carmi played a very good game, best game of his season this last week, and Salem, Gary Carpenter played a top game all day. But the big X factor, well, my X factor, was Big Joel Connolly played a good game in the ruck all day.
At Chelsea, yeah, he's magnificent, isn't he?
He's going to be all right.
13 scoring shots to 1 in the last quarter.
We kicked 5-8.
Yep.
No, 5-7 we kicked.
It's got 5-8 here, anyway.
10-8, 14 points. But we just, it was very good to watch, Colin. The last 5 or 8 minutes, the last 8 minutes, we could have won by 8 goals.
Well, give us the goal kickers then.
Well, I'll give you the goal kickers. Damon kicked 3 goals in the first half, played a fair game most of the day, but Chrissy Warner struck his good form like last year. He's been playing well, and he's marking very well. Kicked 3. Gary Carpenter, top game all day. 2. Louis, I'll speak about him later. Louis 2, Harrison 1, Odell 1, Bradley Clark 1, Carmody 1, and Salem 1.
Very good. Well, give us your group of best players.
Well, not in order, but Salem, Gary Carpenter, Lewis, Carmody, Warner, Nizer, Danny Moreland, Connolly, and Stewart. But most of the players in the last quarter stood up for Chelsea. It wasn't a passion in the last quarter. They all fired up when they needed to be fired up.
We'll get to the highlights in a minute, but firstly the votes. 1 vote.
1 vote, Nigel Carmody, best game for the season for him.
Okay.
Game all day. 2 votes. 2 votes to Michael Salem.
And 3 votes.
No worries in the wide world about who was best on the ground. It was A. Lewis. He's one of his best games he played. Well, he's getting better with age, this fella. He's marvellous. Gets better with age.
Well, talking about highlights, give us some.
Yeah, there's a lot of highlights, Colin. I've got a few written down here. Well, Anthony Lewis, this fella he's just getting better with age, and one of his best games. He's played a lot of good games, but it was one of his best games he played for a long, long time, and 36 kicks, 8 or 10 marks, 2 captain goals. Enough said.
There's a goal in the third quarter by Anthony Lewis on the wing.
He kicked a couple in the last couple of weeks on the wrong side. They really spurred him on too. That's nearly 40 possessions, over 40 possessions, which is not a bad effort.
Yep. Okay, more highlights.
Bradley Clark, I must mention about him in the first quarter. You wouldn't have thought some young fellas get a bit in awe when I get out on the ground. But he was just fitted in and got a few early possessions, and he played a good game. He tackles well. He kicked a lovely goal in the last quarter. He'll be quite happy about that. He won't forget that goal. Danny Moreland's going back for a mark in the last quarter. It was unbelievable. He was about 5'0", and he was going back towards Harrison, and actually he could have been killed, but he started taking a mark. Very courageous. He shouldn't have been out the side. Played a good game through all day. Ryan Stewart, some of his mark he takes, he is amazing. He's got amazing judgment for his size. He takes marks, very good marks in packs, and played a fair game all day too.
Okay, well, Richmond Friday night didn't quite make it. Saturday against Fremantle.
Well, I didn't see much of the game, Colin, but I can't believe that, what's his name, Roland's son, Bradley Clark's mother, was telling me that Richmond in front about 5 minutes ago, 4 points in front of them, would probably get home next week. She told me they could beat them by 10 points. But it's not
got sucked into the Ross Lyon game plan.
They never got beaten by much. They've lost 4 games by less than 10 points. Which they should win them games too, but no, they'll be, they're playing GW. I hope Jack Rewell's alright, his ankle's alright.
Oh, it's a bye week, is it?
They've got a bye next week, are they?
Oh, they've got 2 byes in a row.
Well, they played GWS, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or Gold Coast, didn't they? Yeah.
GWS and then the bye.
We'll get them 2 games, win by 20 goals.
So it's almost like if you need to rest any players, or if you have any little injury.
Well, I'll probably rest Jack. He'll.
Yeah, that's right. He had a little minor injury, didn't he?
Well, no, it's a bit of a ligament.
Yeah, so they might get 2 weeks off.
Well, you get a break next week for start. If there's a bye or you'd class. I'll give him a rest.
Sydney, yeah.
Sydney and Gold Coast, but I get him on rest.
Still hoping for the 8 this year?
I'll win it. I'll get in the 8.
Okay.
Yep. Still pretty confident.
Wait and see. But GWS maybe 100 points?
120.
120. Okay. You heard it here first.
Jack will kick about 15.
If he's playing.
He'll be all right, I think. Ligaments, they can give you jabs and...
Off you go. Might not risk it though. They may not risk it.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Now, I'm still pretty confident I'll get in the 8.
Yep.
With the draw they got.
Alright, well tell us what's happening next week local footy wise.
Well, Chelsea supporters, get down to Karingal. We're playing Karingal down there at home ground. And
Ballon Park.
And I was just telling you before, Colin, that SEAFORD beat Karingal 3 weeks ago by 5 goals, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And we've beaten SEAFORD by 5 goals. I know it doesn't always eventuate like that, but I think, and they haven't got laid.
Yes.
And we've got another big fella called Joel Connolly who's going to be better for the run next week too, and I think we'll give them a fright down there.
So this game is actually for position, because they're 3rd and we're 4th, and the only difference is percentage.
Is it?
Yep.
Give a look.
They got 5 wins, I'll tell you. Kringle's got 5 wins, Chelsea's got 5 wins. Right?
They got a bigger percentage.
They got a bigger percentage. So this is... the winner goes up, the loser goes down.
3rd place. So, Manly is 2nd, and of course YCW's a lap and a half in front.
That's right. So this game is for position.
Well.
So encourage everyone to get to Ballon Park.
Get down there because it's a nice ground to watch football, and of course, as I say, my big man, Big Joel, he'll be better for it, and the Lucas might be. I reckon he could be a week or 2 weeks.
Okay.
But we probably do need him if he's fit enough to get against this Karingal, because they've got other tall fellas there, so I don't know.
So what's your prediction for that game?
Well, if the Lucas right, we'll give him a hell of a fright. Because we've got I reckon this chap will stick with these young fellas. He'll stick with Bradley Clark. I reckon he's a 100-game player.
Do you think we may lose?
No, I'm pretty confident now because it just...
So give us a goal difference.
No, I'm not giving you more those goal predictions. I just think it'll be a close game. Hopefully we can win the game because this fella's going to make a big difference, Joel Conley. I'm telling you now. And young Nightingale, number 48, his first game, he was very good. He was... first game he's ever played, and I'll tell you what, he's done a good job. He's going to be alright.
Very good.
Solid and quick, and so get down to Karingal, you supporters, and support Chelsea.
Alright, well that's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me, and then goodbye from everybody.
Yeah,